Alright, hey everybody, grafting avocado today, okay? Look, I cut my hand. I was grafting earlier and I sliced myself. I'm gonna show you guys how to avoid this and stay safe, okay? I made a big mistake when, big grafting no-no, and I'll show you guys, I'll get into more detail in a second. Anyways, here's my scion, okay? I already pre-wrapped it. I pre-wrapped it with this grafting tape. This grafting tape I got from Amazon. You can also get it from eBay. We're here in Southern California, zone 10A, B, I think. We're in the month of June. It's a great time to graft. So let's get started, okay? First thing, I have it ready. I'm gonna graft right here. I already cut off this branch. But look, there's a mismatch. The scion is much thinner than the rootstock. The size don't match up. If the size is matched up, I would have done a cleft graft. The cleft graft is the classic, brutally effective way to graft. But in the case that we have a mismatch, I'm gonna show you a modified cleft graft that's gonna work, and it's gonna give us a good match, and it's gonna give us, hopefully give us a successful graft. All right, so first of all, I got my trusty knife. It's the Olfa knife. It costs like less than $20 online, and it's super effective. It's a little too effective, actually. I cut myself. But let me show you guys what I did when I cut myself. I was grafting like this. I was making my cut. All right. I was making my cut like this, and I had my thumb down there, and that's what caused the knife to slide right through, and it cut me. So the idea is, when you're making your cut, all your fingers stay above the knife, all right, and you cut downward like that. Anyways, I'm gonna make my cut here. This is the modified cleft graft. Basically, in the classic cleft graft, we would cut right down the. In the classic cleft graft, I would cut right here, right down the middle. Where is it? Right down the middle. But in this case, I'm gonna cut the side, and I'm gonna cut a little flap on the edge, and that's gonna give us a good cambium match, all right? So I'm gonna make my cut. Let's do it. Again, all fingers above. I'm gonna slice a little flap. I'm gonna go down about an inch. About 2.5 centimeters. That's good right there. See that little flap come out? All right, now I'll take my piece of scion wood. I'll take my scion wood, all right. Oh, another little pro tip right here, little pro tip. You wanna always, see this, how this brown edge has got solidified? I want a fresh edge, so I'll make a little cut right there. Get a fresh edge, a fresh tip, and I'll cut here. Here we go. A little bit more. One, and then that's about an inch cut, and then the other side, I'll make about a 1/2 inch cut. A little bit more. I want an arrow shape. You see that arrow shape? That's your goal. Very narrow tipped. You want to make a very pointy end. And now we come in. And I just insert it right there. Just like that. I move my hand away. It's a good contact. And we have a connection. Right there. Now what I'll do is I'll wrap this whole situation with some grafting tape, and we're basically done. Take some more of this tape. Now look, this tape is stretches. I want to get that stretch first, and then wrap it. That stretch makes a nice snug fit. If you just wrap it like that without stretching it, air will go through and then the graft will dry out and it won't be successful. But when you do this little stretch right here, it creates this, it locks in moisture and humidity and keeps the scion alive while it's healing with the rootstock, okay? So I do my stretch. Look how much it's stretching. All right. There we go. Put some more tape, put another little layer of tape to really make a firm contact between the rootstock and the scion. Give it a few squeezes to really force them together. And that's it, folks. That's all it takes. A big important step is I'm gonna paint with white paint this area, because look, it's exposed and it's gonna get sunburned. So I'm gonna try to prevent that by painting it with some white paint. Standard white paint from any big box store works. And I'll check back with you guys it's gonna take about a month. So I'll check back with you in about a month. We'll see how this graft does. All right, everybody, it's been a month. The graft is dead. It didn't make it. By the way, this is what a dead graft looks like. If it's black or brown inside, it's gone. But if it's still green, the graft still has a chance to make it. So you just leave it on, let it see if it grows out. So let's talk about a few reasons why grafts fail. First of all, a big mistake I made was I didn't sanitize my tools. Here's some rubbing alcohol. Usually I just take some rubbing alcohol and a paper towel. I pour some on like that. And then I rub my tools down. Anything that's gonna cut into this live tissue gets sanitized, because when you're grafting, you're basically doing surgery. You're cutting into live tissue and you're fusing two pieces of wood together. That's like surgery. You're doing surgery. You're like a doctor. So I didn't sanitize my tools. By the way, this rubbing alcohol is hard to find nowadays because of coronavirus. So another solution you could use is bleach. Take 1 cap full of bleach, pour it in a spray bottle, pour the rest with water, shake it up, and spray your tools. And that's another way you could sanitize your tools before you graft. And that's a big a mistake I made when I did this graft. Another thing is I did this graft in June. Now this year, June was really hot, and these grafts here are facing the west. They get strong midday to late afternoon sun for many hours, because the sun sets that way. And these grafts were hit with strong sun, and very likely they just fried up and they couldn't take all that heat. So if you want to do grafting in summer, because I got a little cocky. I was like, yeah, I'm doing grafting in winter. I did it in the spring. I got it in the fall. Even I did some grafting, into the colder months. But I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do grafting into the summer. But in this case, it didn't work out. So a solution is you take some aluminum foil, take this little piece of aluminum foil, and you just wrap your graft with it. And this blocks out the sun. It blocks out a lot of heat, and it keeps the graft nice and temperature controlled, and it keeps it alive. If you're grafting in really high temperature, hot climates, this keeps the graft going. I'm gonna squeeze this stem end that locks it in place, and then you see here I leave it open. To let air go inside, not closed. You don't want it like that. That's no good. No air can go inside. You want a little bit of oxygen going in there, keep the graft alive. So slightly open, but still blocking out the sun. You could position it based on how the sun is hitting. You could go like this, you can go like that, but as long as there's some opening right there, it's good to go. And that's a step that will help out your grafts if you're grafting in really hot climates. So those are a few reasons why grafts fail, and so that's a learning lesson. I don't see this as a fail, I see it as a learning lesson. As always, like, subscribe. I have a lot more grafting videos coming up. Grafting season is coming up here, so consider subscribing. I got cool videos coming up, and as always, thank you for watching. Bye.